and get that your day, your life is going to get better, honey, once you think twice. Your day, your life is going to get better once your perception gets better. So, while a few of you guys start coming on, I'm just going to write my grocery list out real quick. Okay, honey, I got to write this out because a part of me is thinking if I go to the stores, a part of me don't want to do this. Okay, that old version of me is like, didn't just go to the stores and just pick stuff. No, 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 no. We're gonna write the list out. So while you guys start coming in, I stop writing the list when you guys start coming in the line. I hope you guys' day is going really, really good. If not, do understand and get it's going to get better, honey. I could assure you, it's going to get better once you get better. Because I don't want to make any false promises, okay, or give you false hope. Because the truth of the matter is, we don't have to wait for other people to apologize to us, to change their ways. When we start changing who we are and change our perception, then everything in our lives, it will start changing. Even the people that you may look at now and say, oh my goodness, right? Those people, they'll start changing. And in many cases, even if they didn't change, right, you'll be so changed that you don't even care if they changed or not. All right. And that means that you don't even have to be around them. Okay. Message. Okay. Oh, chill. Dang, I ain't it's like 24 you guys on here. I ain't all right. So I seen the message. Honey, I'm doing better than great. How you pronounce your name? Jerka? Honey, I think that's how you pronounce it. Picia. Okay, so honey, I wrote my grocery list out. It ain't gonna be a whole bunch of stuff that I'm gonna get, but I was sweeping the floor, and this message came to me instantly about doing the right thing, right? And what is the right thing? And sometimes in life, you may feel that the right thing is going against yourself. But I am here to tell you that is never the right thing. In fact, that is the wrong thing. Okay. And we all understand and get that there's no right and wrong in this here universe, but there is ever. So it's not, so to speak, the right thing or the wrong thing, but what is showing up in your life where as though you need to take a look at and say, I need to do better than this. Okay. And I always refer back to, if you are someone that allows people to talk to you any old type of way because you feel that as long as you don't say anything, you would be able to get along with them, right? As long as you hold your tongue, because let's not kid ourselves. We've been conditioned to do this, okay? It's so funny because I had seen a friend earlier today, and she was leaving, and I said, "Hey," and she said, "Hey," and I said, she said, "Oh, I'm walking today," and I said, "You walking?" And she said, "Yeah," and she has this fear of saying no, so much so that she prefer to walk, so she don't have to tell people no. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Whenever you know you should do a thing and you don't do it because you feel like you don't want to get into altercations or conflict. So what you do is you pretty much try to run from it, try to escape it, right? That's the worst thing that you can do. And I know the reason why you probably do that, why you probably don't say anything, why you probably allow people to walk all over you. The reason you do those things is because you feel it will keep peace. You feel that if I don't say anything, then my life it will be peaceful. But I am here to tell you that is certainly the wrong thing. Okay, that is most certainly the wrong thing because is you saying no. If you don't say no out of fear because of what somebody will think of you or what somebody may say, then that means that you are more afraid of them, of that relationship, or that situation, as opposed to setting healthy boundaries for yourself. Okay. If you get a reflection back of you, exactly who you are showing up to be, right? Then you don't want people to be a part of your life and you feel like you have to walk on eggshells. You have to tiptoe around them because if you don't, then they would get upset. You are going to have to start using your throat chakra. And I know, I get it. It's not the funnest thing to do. It is not at times when you first start saying no to people. And no is a complete sentence. It's just no. No explanation needed. It's just no. You don't need to explain yourself why you said no. And if you explaining yourself to why you said no, then you believe that this person is owed an explanation when in fact they are not owed an explanation. And all of that comes from childhood. I remember my youngest children's grandmother. Okay. She had wanted me, she was paying for my youngest son to go get his hair cut. Right, because we was doing a photo shoot and she was like, oh, I paid for the haircut and stuff like that. And she was like, but if you could just take him, right? The next day, it was like the next day or so. And it was like spirit a moment, but I just didn't feel like doing it. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, I do not want to tell her that, right? Because in my mind, I'm like, she do so much for my children. Yes, they her grandchildren, but she don't have to do as much as she do. She bought them clothes, like she do a lot. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't tell her that I don't want to do it, right? The old version of me was like, just go. Or though you don't want to do it, just go. And then I was thinking, I said, if I just go this time, what about the next time when I don't want to do something? You got to understand and stop living for people. Okay. You have to stop living for people. As long as keep on commenting. Okay. I like this. Honey, you just setting the algorithm off. Okay, more people gonna come join the live. So I appreciate you guys. Okay, whatever comments you leave, I appreciate it because you just sending people my way. Okay, and the video is it's gonna go viral. Okay, so if you don't want it to go viral, honey, but no, keep on commenting because the video is gonna go viral. Okay, honey, I'm speaking it into existence. Let me tell you something. You guys, I had fun on here. Okay. I have fun. I'm not one of those creators where as though you say certain things. I like the comments. Okay, I like them. Now, a lot of you guys got off, but I like the comments because the more you comment, see, before we go further into what I was saying, this is one of the things that you have to understand and get, that the algorithm is a copycat of your mindset. Okay, so whatever it is no coincidence that you watching this live because you needed it. That's why you're here. Okay. And you may think of it like, no, I don't need it. Yes, you do, because that's why you're here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't need it. Okay. And so I like when you guys comment and stuff like that. I always say, I'm armored up, honey. Okay. You think I woke up this morning, I armored up, honey? I'm good. All right. Okay. And when you comment, what you doing, you just showing people exactly what it is that you got going on. And I send you nothing but love. Okay, nothing but love. So getting back to what I was saying. So keep on commenting, okay? Because what you saying to the algorithm is you like this type of video. No matter what you comment, you like this stuff. So let the algorithm do what the algorithm needs to do. As long as you feel that you can't tell people exactly how you feel. If you feel like first, let me tell you guys something. Let me share this with you guys. I had a good friend, right? She's still a good friend of mine. And I shared this story before, but let me share this again. One of my friends, she used to come over a lot, right, to my house. And I'm not the type for company. And you know why? Because that's pretty much how I was raised. You know, my grandmother, she never really went to people's houses and sat up in people's houses and stuff like that. So, you know, me going to people's houses and sitting for a long period of time, I just wasn't raised like that, you know. So I barely go to any of my friends' house. You know, I may pop in a few minutes, but then I'm out. I don't just sit there, right? And my friend said, "Come here and sit," which I don't mind. Okay, but I just wasn't raised that way. And so one of my homegirls, she had came. She would come to my house. Me and her was working together, and that's how I actually met her, through work. And so when she first started coming to my house, I noticed, you know, that she would be because I always cook, and one of my friends, they would always say, you know, my homegirl Samantha, she would always say, "Oh my goodness," because now that I'm a content creator and I'm making videos and stuff like that, I cook, but I don't cook as much as I used to do before. Before I would cook every single day, okay, for my children, my oldest two children, I would cook them home meals every day. All right, sweep and mop every day. Nowadays, I don't. I have my time is going towards me and my children's for our success, right? And I'm not saying that, you know, I don't cook or I don't have time, but I put more time into my business and more time into my children. And yeah, I cook, but just not as much, okay? And so my one of my homegirls, she had came over. She would come over, and I never knew this really much about her. But she would come over and I would always be cooking, right? Like the food would be on the stove and stuff. Either I was cooking or the food on the stove done already. And she would say, "Oh, what did you cook?" Right? And I would say, you know, I cooked such and such chicken and something else, but you know, chicken and veggies and rice or something, you know. And she would say, or if I cooked, I'd be like, "You want a plate?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." She always said, "Yeah." Right? Or sometimes she'd be like, "What you made?" Or "What you making money?" And she always wanted to eat. Okay. She always wanted to eat. Now she is still, you know, one of my good girlfriends. Okay. But she always wanted to eat. And I remember I was afraid to tell her that. You know, I was a little afraid to say something to her about it. Right. And she was, and I was afraid, honey. I sent her a message. Okay. I said, "Listen, listen, honey. I don't mind you coming over to eat." I said, "But every time you come over, honey, you want a meal." Okay. And this is why I have the type of friends I have: accountability. Right. And one of the things she sent back, because I didn't know how she was going to take this, because this was the first time that I really got at my comfort zone in a way to tell somebody, like, no, like, I don't mind it, but honey, you do it a lot, right? So she sent me a message and she said, girl, I thought you knew I like to eat. she said, girl, I thought you knew I like to eat. When I'm on my way to your house, I ask you, do you need anything? And you say no. Now, I don't really recall her asking me, do I need anything? But I know from that point on, like whenever she was coming over, she would ask, do I need something? Okay. And it would be sometimes weird, so I would say no, right? But if you don't tell them, how would they know? And I believe that if you can't have a relationship, a healthy relationship with somebody, and tell them exactly what's going on in your life and what you don't like, then is that really a friendship? Is that really somebody that you want to be a part of your life? Because as long as you are walking on eggshells, you're not even being your authentic self. And I know for a lot of reasons why we tend to not want to tell people certain things, because we have this codependency thing going on, saying, well, if I tell them this, then they're not going to want to be friends. Or if I tell them this, then they're going to get upset. But what if you don't tell them? What if you don't tell them exactly how you feel? Then you're going to be upset, because you're going to have this feeling, this animosity going on within yourself for not speaking up. And so as long as you just don't say anything, remember, when you telling them yes, when you really want to say no, in many cases, you are telling yourself no. You saying yes to them, right? You going against yourself for them, but is that worth it? Is that like the type of relationship that you want? Is that the type of friendship that you want? A great book I highly recommend you guys get is this: How to Win Friends and Influence People. This wasn't even part of the video, okay? But I was reading this on a book on a bus yesterday, and it's so funny how the universe works. I always talk to you guys about the synchronicities and stuff like that we tend to receive, the downloads that we tend to receive, the intuition. I'm always speaking about your intuition and how you must listen to it if you want any aspect of your life to change. Is a reason why you get those downloads to do the things that you do. And it is for you to start showing up. It is for you to look at that and say, you know what? I'm going to trust the process. I am going to do it. I don't know what's going to occur or going to come out after this, but I am going to do it. Prime example, well, so synchronicities, getting back to synchronicities. I was watching this guy. He interviewed millionaires, multimillionaires, even billionaires, and I think it's called Hard Knock something, School Hard Knock or something. But anyway, I was watching his video actually yesterday before I had left out, and it was this young lady who is a multimillionaire, and he interviewed her. And she had recommended this book. And I said, oh my goodness, I got that book, right? And so I grabbed the book before I was leaving the house. And I was reading it yesterday while I was on the bus. And it's so funny because it's things in here that Dale Carnegie talks about that you could do as though you influence people, okay? You influence people and how to win friends. Phenomenal read. Okay. Great book. So what else I was going to tell you guys? I was going to tell you something else. Oh, darn it. Oh, so earlier today, I got a download to go to Dollar Tree. right? And the only reason I tell you guys about listening to your intuition, because I listen to mine. Okay, so I'm gonna always give you the things that I tend to do. And I'm not gonna tell you, like, I would not be saying show up if I'm not showing up. I would not be saying listen to your intuition if I don't listen to my intuition. Okay. So early I got a download. I went to bed rather late this morning. I went to bed, I was uploading until 2 something this morning, uploading like short form videos. I was listening to Bob Proctor and stuff like that. And pretty much just studying. And so this morning when I was getting up, I had got a download for me to go to Dollar Tree. Now, that voice, that monkey, the fourth self in your mind that's telling you, don't do it. It's raining outside. Don't go today. You're too tired. Don't do this, right? That monkey that you keep on listening to is keeping you stuck, is keeping you exactly where you are. And what's so good about radical action and always taking action and making action a habit, but taking also the right type of action. I was laying down in a bed and I visualized, okay, was I laying down meditating? One of the two. But I visualized and I had seen myself going shopping at Victoria's Secret. Honey, I got up I got up so quick, okay? And I showered and I was ready to head out to do the Dollar Tree haul, okay? Now, when I got back in the house after my children and I went to my friend's house, okay, to wash some clothes. When I got back home, one of the things that I noticed was um I was kind of stalling, you know. Normally I get the download for me to go do something right there, but it was a download for me to go to Dollar Tree, but it wasn't like go there now, right? So I was putting the stuff up, the clothes up and stuff. And after a while, I was like, you know what? All right, Dina, come on. Go to Dollar Tree. So I goes to Dollar Tree and I'm doing a video. And this is how majority of the time it always happens. You know, I see someone, another customer inside of Dollar Tree, and when I'm doing a video, they would ask me like, oh my goodness, like, or they'd say, I heard somebody in the next L making content. Like, no, they'd say, I heard somebody in the next L. And it seems like that they make videos or so, right? And so at first, some people, they probably don't say nothing at first. Like when they see me in the same aisle, they'll probably sometimes wait. I don't know if it's because they nervous or whatever it is like that. But they sometimes they won't say nothing. And honey, I don't bite. Okay. I don't bite. And I don't want to say I'm shy because I'm not shy. But most of the time you would see me pretty much either me with myself or with my children, right? And so I'm at the Dollar Tree and I was recording. And it was this lady, this older lady who, oh my goodness, absolutely gorgeous. Okay. I'm not gay. I just got to put that out. Okay. Because you may be gay and that's okay. You got to do what works for you. But I just got to put that out. You know, I would say no DMs or anything like that, but we on YouTube. But anywho, so so the lady, she had seen me recording and I didn't, you know, make too much of it. I just was recording and she said to me, she said, have you ever tried this? And it was like the nasal spray. And I was like, no. And she was like, this is really, really good. And you know, we just hit it off. We just started talking and stuff like this. You know, a older white lady. And the reason I put the emphasis when I say a white lady is because, you know, sometimes we think that people that who don't look like us, that they are different. And I am here to say that we are all connected. Okay. We are all connected. The people that comes into your life, they are a reflection of whatever it is that you got going on, whatever your energy is. That's exactly who you are going to meet. That's exactly who you are going to attract. Okay. So me and her started talking, and she goes, and I started crying. It was one of those days I was, filled with gratitude. And at times, when I look over my life and I'm filled with gratitude, at times I cried. I just cried thinking of how good God is. I just cried. And today was one of those days. And even when I was doing a video and I was filming about Father's Day and the cards and stuff, I just got teary eyed. And so me and her was talking, and she was asking me about the product and stuff like that. And she said, "Do you like this?" So asking me, "Do I like what I do?" And I said, "Oh my goodness, yeah." I said, because my inner child comes out, and it do. When I'm in Dollar Trees and stuff like that. Some of you guys may look at it like it's only $1.25. I know somebody said that on here before. It's only $1. Oh, I wish I got excited. I got as happy as this going into Dollar Tree. Happiness is a choice, my love. You choose if you want to be happy or not. It's just a choice. Okay. And so when I go inside of Dollar Trees, from seeing all the new stuff and the excitement and stuff, my inner child, it always comes out to play. Okay. It comes out. It is what it is, child. And she said something else, and then I just start crying. And she said, oh my goodness. I guess I call her off guard, Hey Tracy, peace to you, baby, peace to you. I guess I just call her off guard. And she goes, and she was talking. At first, she didn't really say too much about me like standing there crying. And then she said something, she said, "Oh, she seen my lip color," and she said, I have she said, "I have this lipstick is a designer brand," and she said she had a few of these, and she tried some of the ones that she said she didn't really care for, but she said, "I have 3 brand new red Chanel lipsticks," and she was like, "Could I give them to you?" That was all she wrote, honey. I really started crying. Okay, I started crying more than what she, and she was like, "Oh my God." She said, "Do you want some tissue?" And then she started telling me this story and stuff like this about somebody that she met, and they became friends and stuff like that. And one of the interesting things she said, she said, she was saying to someone that you're gonna have to let go. And I said, "Let go?" Because prior to me going inside a Dollar Tree, my intro on my Dollar Tree, or now I cut my video up because I know you guys want to see the products first. Okay. So it's sort of like bringing you in. Okay. If I know, because I studied my analytics, and I know that a lot of you guys, you want to see the product first. So if I show the product, if I'm like, "Oh my goodness, did you see this item?" And then if I do my intro a few, minutes later, okay, not only will it increase the watch time, okay, but I'm also giving you guys what you want. So, but in my intro, and I never really put my intro like "Peace family, I hope you guys having a phenomenal day." I never put that first. I normally put that, like, I break it up. I put it in the middle of the video. I always do. Okay. But in my intro, it was, "You're gonna have to let go. You're gonna have to surrender." And I let me tell you, some of you guys, you think that God is not listening. You think God is not answering your prayers. And God is answering your prayers. But also, you have to make room. You asking for certain things, but you are not willing to make room for whatever it is that you desire. And I always say this, right? There's laws in this here universe, right? They're not man-made laws. And you can't break the laws, okay? Because that's why you tend to suffer, because you keep going against the laws of the universe. God can only give you what you believe you deserve. If you believe you don't deserve this thing, guess what? It doesn't matter how much you say you want it. If you think that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve it, you're not worthy of it, okay, you will not have it. Let me say that again. There's certain laws in this here universe, right? And if you believe that because you cry a little, because you pray a little, because you complain a lot, right? If you think that God is going to say, you know what, this person cried, because God sees you the way God sees himself, okay? You are strong. You are powerful. You are worthy. You are loved. You are enough. You are a creator. But if you see yourself as not deserving, not worthy, okay, you speak in a different language than God, right? And when I say language, I'm talking about the emotions that you tend to feel. Those emotions that you tend to feel, that is the universe language. Okay. So when you sending things out into the ether and you like, I want this, but you have some static going on, you feel like you don't deserve it, you're not going to have it. You might as well cancel it out. You're not going to have it. You have to get into a space where as though you know you deserve it. Not I believe I deserve it. I know I deserve it. So when I show up, each and every day, I know I deserve it. I know God want me to win. I know God set me up to win. I know I am worthy of it. Okay. And this is how you have to go about life. If you don't think and that's why so many people, they won't show up because they think they make excuses. They say, oh, I'm tired. It's raining outside. It's too cold. They say all these different things and they don't understand that is not even them. That's the forced version of them. That's the part of them that has been programmed and believe that they're not strong enough for whatever it is that may have shown up in their life. They think that they're not strong enough. They think that they don't deserve whatever good it is. And you do deserve it. But it doesn't matter how much I tell you that you deserve it. If you believe you don't deserve it, guess what? You're not going to show up. It doesn't matter what somebody else believes. And if somebody else's opinion of you, it really doesn't matter. I can tell you until I'm blowing a face that you are beautiful, you are loved, you are gorgeous, that you deserving, you are worthy. I can tell you all of these things. But if you don't believe it don't matter what I say. You don't believe it. And as same as that, vice versa, when people tell you you are no good and all these other things, if you don't believe it, it doesn't matter what they say. And it's all about what you feel you deserve. And another thing, if there's no enemy, okay, inside, the enemy outside could do no harm. Let me say it again. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside could do no harm. As long as you feel somebody is out to get you, you're right. They are out to get you and they will get you. But why would you feel that somebody is out to get you? Perhaps it can be the things that you watch, the things you listen to, all that stuff that's penetrating into your subconscious mind. And I done talked about this time and time again. The subconscious, it doesn't know fantasy from reality. You can accept or reject it. You don't have to accept everything that you see. You can say, I don't accept this. And guess what? It'll go away. And I know some people may feel like, oh my goodness, is that easy? Yes, is that easy? Won't you give it a try? you should give it a try. But really not accept it. Nobody can do voodoo. Let me tell you something. I was on, oh gosh. You know, these social media platforms, they are so good. I was on TikTok the other day, right? And it was a young lady on there who said that she was going to use my picture or something, right? I guess to do something. I said, and I made sure I looked in the camera real good. I said, honey, do what you need to do because you don't know who I work with. Honey, that scared the bejesus. What she say? Not that she was kidding, but honey, she straightened up real quick. Okay, because if there's no enemy within, the enemy can't do no harm. And you have to give permission to those things. You have to give permission. And you give permission when you believe in that stuff. When you believe that thing is bigger than God. Oh, child. Okay. I am here to tell you that all the power is within you. All of the power is within you. You may not be able to see it right now, okay? But I am here to tell you all the power is within you. And sometimes you may have to get away from certain people in order for you to discover your power, in order for you to see your power. Okay, because sometimes, and it's not that they can suffocate your power, but sometimes your power, you can't see your power because you are being highly influenced because for the namesake of family or for the title of that's my mother, the title of that's my father, you know, and that's why you can't see your power because instead of you looking at God as the be all, you look at this person, this family member as bigger and more powerful than God. And that's why you don't speak up. That's one of the main reasons you don't speak up. Because the God that they gave you was this mean God, this God that is stingy, perhaps. This God that if you say something, you're not going to have good luck, right? So you better keep your mouth shut. You better shut up and just accept whatever it is. That's why you tend to get what you get. And so what I realized on my journey is I needed to go back and see the God that was given to me. Is this God, you know, is this working in my favor? Or the God that was given to me, is that working for someone else? What's your perception of God? Because God is love. God is in everything. God is love. And there's no way that you can love, right? Love yourself because you and God is this, right? There's no way you can love God if you can't speak up for yourself. If you can't say anything, if you let people just walk over you like you're a doormat. You too powerful for that. You too strong for that. And when you start showing up differently, right? When you have those uncomfortable conversations that you perhaps may not want to have, but you know you need to have. When you're scared to say certain things, but you know you need to say it. And maybe it's a little fearful, right? Maybe it's like, oh my goodness, I really don't want to say this because I don't know how this person is going to take it. But when you say it, when you take the leap out on faith and you say, you know what, I have to say it because if I don't, this is not going to be healthy for me nor them. Because by you being a people pleaser to them, you're not helping them neither. Because the universe, God isn't, you know, some people, and it's so funny because I remember one day I was listening to Abraham Hicks. And one of the things she said was, it was this lady who said that she pretty much, I guess, like spoiled her child. And one of the things Abraham Hicks said was, you know, you're not doing that child any favor, right? When you give the child everything they want because they want it like this. And I said, oh goodness, okay. I said, let me listen, right? She said, you're not doing, she said, if anything, you're doing like a disservice, because that's not even how it is with sores. Abraham Hicks, she normally say sores. She said, that's not even how it is with sores. And oftentimes it all go back to instant gratification, right? So if you're a parent and you like things to be instant, right? Oftentimes we teach our children that things need to be instant, right? And then when things don't be instant, you feel like, oh my goodness, maybe you rely on the thing so much that you feel like you can't be happy because you don't have the thing. But it's in the patience, is in you patiently waiting and still going on about your business and doing the things that you need to do. Is in those moments that everything will start coming to you, but not being like, oh my goodness, I need it now, because if I don't have it now, then I'm not going to be happy. Happiness is a choice. And you will appreciate it more, right? Look at anything in our lives. Is not so much the destination, it's always the journey. And we hear this all the time, right? It's always the journey. It's always, us working our way towards that thing. And then after you get it, you like, right, you have it, okay. But then it's on to the next. But when you working towards it, it feels good because you're like, oh my goodness. And then you get it. But imagine if everything just came to you so quickly. Oh my goodness. You would take everything for granted. You would take everything for granted. And you know how I know? Because you do that with people sometimes. When certain people, they give. And then you start taking them for granted. All right. So with that being said, I love you guys. Keep rocking out, believing in yourselves, keep going, keep growing. Until next time. Book for today, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Okay. Really, really good. A good book. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.